Hello, and welcome once again to the Lightship Global Jam powered by Niantic and Playcrafting. I'm your host, Holly Peppermint, and I am joined with Dan Butchko, founder and CEO of Playcrafting. Playcrafting partnered up with AR technology company Niantic this summer, which is the creator of augmented reality hits you've certainly heard of and played and loved, like Pokemon Go and Harry Potter Wizards Unite. And this was in order to power a global AR software jam. So this will include 3 jams across the world, as well as a series of live streams highlighting the teams and their creations.
So the 3 legs of this jam are actually taking place from July all the way through September, with 15 teams of developers being selected and paid to participate. Each is receiving training and a workshop about Niantic Lightship, and then they're going on to create their own games and experiences with the Lightship AR development kit. Now, Niantic Lightship encompasses the full Niantic platform, including the suite of tools and services that power Niantic's own games. Niantic's Lightship ARDK is a robust set of tools that enable developers to create multiplayer experiences and bring them to life with depth, physics, occlusion, and semantic segmentation. Now, for those of you who don't know, Playcrafting is a game development company that fosters a massive network of developers around the world. We connect developers like the ones that you'll meet today to exciting new technologies like Lightship to help generate games and experiences that would otherwise not have been made or have been possible. Tonight, we're kicking off our European Jam, which runs July 25th to July 31st. Way down the line, later on in the summer, we are going to wrap up this awesome summer of creation in Japan, August 29th to September 4th. Now, Playcrafting and Niantic are both in the process of selecting participating developers for the Japan Jam based on their experience, diversity, and studio size. Head on over to lightshipglobaljam.com to learn more and to apply if you're a Japanese developer. Signups for the Lightship beta are also open on niantic.dev. That's niantic.dev. So check that out if you're a developer in the US or in Europe that missed out on the opportunity to participate in these legs of the jam. We're looking for developers to build games and experiences with the overarching themes of discovery, exploration, and movement. The software doesn't have to just be AR games, though. It can include things like fitness, sports, social impact, entertainment, music, travel, and any other thing that you can think of. It doesn't have to just be games. Apps can even be created using other technologies, which then use Lightship to help bring them to life.
And it's important to remember that Niantic will be funding these 5 awesome teams to spend a week developing their games and apps. They will be providing so much support to them, with an emphasis on some of Lightship's key features, which include things like multiplayer, real time mapping, and semantic segmentation. So, as we mentioned before, the European region is our star in this jam, and we have managed to find some very exciting and interesting teams to introduce you all to. It's time to meet our 5 teams of the European developers from all across the continent. Kicking things off, hailing from Italy, it's TNTC, aka Tough Nut to Crack.
Hey, I'm Matteo, a developer passionate about XR and game development. My team is called TNTC and we are from Italy. Our core businesses are augmented reality, virtual reality and video games. We are a team with strong personalities. We are all programmers as a starting point, but all specialized in a different field. We love working together and we complete each other. TNTC was born in 2019 and a part of business projects, we love to share our passion about game dev through our YouTube channel called TNTC. So, go to check it out, you will not be disappointed.
I'm Eric, a developer with a theme for computer graphics.
I am Matteo, Teo for family and friends. I am a sound designer and a software engineer.
My team is innovative, competent and tireless.
Passionate, creative and steady.
Strong, nocturnal, funky.
Eric and I founded TNTC in 2019. We met in our previous company where we worked as Unity developers.
Eventually, we met Theo during a common project for an art exhibition here in Bologna.
Since then, we have always worked together.
I love the romantic side of AR, the idea of transforming our world by adding new layers of information.
During my days, I live in a virtual world. Thanks to augmented reality, I can share this world with everybody.
In theater, they say there is an invisible wall between the audience and the stage, and they call it the fourth wall. I believe AR breaks that wall and put everybody on stage.
I love playing video games, chess, sports, and I love petting my dogs.
Having fun with the people I love, play some music, stay with my dog, doing some sport.
I play music, I take care of my vegetable garden, I go hiking, and I practice Kung Fu.
That's hard to say, I have many, but as a retro gamer, I would say Girls and Ghosts.
Final Fantasy X without any doubt.
Diablo 2.
Just focus on your goal. Pressure is not necessarily a bad thing.
Step away from your laptop and have a glass of good wine and cheers yourself up.
Do it, experiment. You have to get your hands dirty. Follow other creators and learn from them.
There is no plan B.
I would say always challenge yourself, and the phrase "I can do it" doesn't exist.
I am now joined by Matteo Baraldi from TNTC. Thank you so much for being here today, Matteo.
Thank you.
I would
Thank you
love
too.
it. I would love it if you could please tell me all about your team. So just tell me who's on your team, what everyone's roles are.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Matteo. TNTC is a team of 3 people. We are based in Bologna, Italy, and we mainly develop 3D real-time experience. And also we are specialized in XR development. So everything from virtual reality to augmented reality and mixed. We also love creating video games. And in our free time, we have and we publish videos on our YouTube channel called TNTC, as you can imagine. And here we mostly publish and show our passion for game dev. So we recreate game mechanics from scratch, and we show the processes behind and the technologies. In particular, we use Unity 3D. I'm the co-founder of TNTC. We are all developers as a starting point, but all specialized in a different field, I can say. Apart from programming, I also love 3D modeling, and I'm specialized in the Unity engine itself and its pipelines. Eric is our 3D graphic programmer expert. He loves programming shaders, VFX in real time, and all these kind of things related to graphic. And Matteo Balasso is our expert in networking. He loves Unity, and also he programs in Python. So he loves all the backend side stuff, server stuffs. And he also a great sound and music designer. That's the team.
It sounds like for such a small team, you have such a wide range of skills. So
yeah.
You're ready for anything.
Yeah,
so
we are ready.
why are you excited? Why are you excited to create something in AR?
We are excited because AR is a technology, is something that let you explore and innovate in a different way. In particular, we love the fact that with augmented reality, you can add information, layer of we can say layer of magic to the reality. And so this is what augmented reality excites us. And that's what we will try to do with in this jam with our idea.
I like that description, a layer of magic on our reality. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good description of AR. So where would you like to see AR go in the future?
I would like to see it mostly I would like to see it more around me. I would like to see more practical uses and use cases. And of course, I would like to see some dedicated hardwares, something that let you use it in an easy way and without too much setup and things like that. And so, yeah, I would like to see it in my everyday life, I think.
So in this jam, you'll get to use Lightship to create your AR game and experience. What are you most excited for with using Lightship? What is making it appealing to you for your project?
It appeals a lot the features that it have, and in particular, we would like to experiment with the semantic segmentation and the networking stuff that the framework, the ARDK offers, and that's are the point that we will focus on.
I keep hearing semantic segmentation as a hot button topic for Lightship. So clearly they're doing something great with that.
Yeah.
So your team, have you worked on many projects in the past? What are a few projects that you are known for, you're very proud of?
Yeah, here in Bologna, we have many companies in the automotive industry. So we have worked for them to create many business experiences like product configuration and other car-related experience. And also we work a lot in the art field. Lately we have participated to an important art exhibition here in Bologna, where we have used augmented reality to improve and add layers of information to physical art. So yeah, maybe we are the best thing that for which we are known is the YouTube channel. But yeah, our projects are not something that have a public name, if you can say that. Yeah.
Well, maybe this will be your first public name project. Who knows?
Yeah.
How did your team get
Well,
started with AR?
we
What made
started.
you?
Sorry.
Oh, I was just asking what made you decide we want to work on augmented reality?
Yeah, we are specialized in Unity. So Unity is an engine that lets you explore many things, and augmented reality was one of the things that we experimented most and that we liked the most. So our goal was and is to deep the knowledge of of augmented reality and improve always more in it.
So I know you have a YouTube channel, of course. Where else can people find you and your team to follow you and your projects for this jam on social media?
Yeah, the best place is the YouTube channel, as you said, and from there you can find all the links for Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We are all they are all called TNTC, so it's not difficult to find them. And we have also a Discord channel with a growing community where we talk about tech stuff and Unity related things.
That's awesome. It's the first I've heard of a Discord channel for a team. That's a very good idea. So thank you so much, Matteo, for talking to me today. Good luck to you and your team this week. And for those of you that heard about that YouTube channel, I highly recommend that you check it out. I checked it out as soon as I heard about their team's YouTube channel when we were getting ready for this stream, and they have a lot of really valuable information on it. They're doing a great thing, sort of spreading the word about all of their process, and yeah, just go to their YouTube channel. I don't know why you're still here. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I think it's like so helpful when developers share their process while they are making games and apps and sort of sharing what they're learning along the way, because so much of game development and app development more broadly is a process of trial and error, and there's so many mistakes along the way. So a lot of devs leverage things like YouTube to learn, and so definitely head on over to YouTube and check out more from TNTC. I personally can't wait to see what this team comes up with. And in that intro video, when the one team member said that one of the words to describe him is funky, I'm like, all right, let's bring some funk to this app or game that they're putting together.
I loved that. And when he said before that nocturnal, which I feel like
Yeah.
very underrated adjective to be used across the board for creatives. So
Yeah.
nocturnal and funky, don't forget it.
Yeah, nocturnal is definitely a needed attribute when you're doing a jam across just 7 days and you're on a tight deadline. So definitely feel them on that one. Cool.
Helps.
All right, so let's go ahead and meet our next team. Representing Prague, this is Jord.
Hi, my name is Tomáš and I'd like to introduce you to Team Jord, based in the beautiful city of Prague. Our team consists of 4 members with various backgrounds. First on our team is Anya. Anya is a 3D designer who enjoys creating interactive environments as well as pursuing the wonderful world of experimental media art. Next up is Philip. Philip is a wunderkind who joined the company at 19 years of age. He's a self-taught Unity developer, and his latest project has you exploring a virtual representation of our office. The third member of our team is Ksenia. Just like Anya, she is a 3D designer. She enjoys creating 3D models, textures, and architectural visualizations. And last but not least, there's me. My name is Tomáš, and I have a background in human-computer interaction. My biggest achievement is a personal project of mine, which had me creating a visualization toolkit for virtual reality.
Well, our team is definitely eclectic, versatile, and fun.
Collaborating, challenging, and supportive.
Focused, agile, creative.
Creative, passionate, and mainly adventurous, because I think we really like to experiment with a lot of things.
The coolest thing about AR, as for me, is just expanding on the possibilities of actual physical world.
That I can see my imaginary worlds in reality. It's cool.
Possibilities to intertwine the real with the virtual. I think that one thing that also helps is that it isn't perceived as something that is exclusive to gamers, and opposed to other technologies like VR, it is less socially isolating.
I personally was really amazed when I could place a model from my favorite TV show in my own room. But it's only a simple model placement. Like, finding new ways to create more cool AR experience is also what really excites me.
Well, out of all AR apps and AR experience I had, probably Spark AR is the best.
I myself like the kinds of apps that serve a practical purpose, so my favorite AR app/experience is the one that helped me furnish my new apartment.
Take a break, laugh it off, and just continue on with your own pace. Don't rush things.
By organizing your time, having strict time management methods.
Well, since jam can be a bit stressful for everyone, my advice would be try to abstract from anxiety. Like, no one will die, you know.
My tips are good sleep, warm bath, and gin tonic is the best one.
So on behalf of all 3 artists, my advice for the aspiring ones would be just back up your projects.
Don't be shy, challenging yourself, find your main inspiration, and try to create a real project, not tutorials.
Do it. If something catches your interest, try it out.
All right, and joining us live is Adam from Jord. Hey there, Adam. Thanks for joining us. How's everything going today?
It's great. Great to be here, Dan. Thanks.
Amazing. So it was so nice to get get an intro to you and the rest of your team over at Jord. Tell us, how did you all start working together? How did you meet?
Well, I think we all are connected behind the passion for the VR AR technologies. So started with my co-founder David. It's about 2 or 3 years ago. And we just started as two guys that are really passionate about what VR AR can bring to the world, and then we managed to land into the company this amazing bunch of people. So yeah.
Nice. And what is it about AR specifically that excites you the most as a creator?
Well, I think for me, the AR is this world that we cannot really see it, right? And it's already there. It's like the world that is connected, or the real world connected through the data to this virtual one. So that excites me. And I think personally, I believe there is a huge revolution coming, and the AR will be just standard part of our lives. And we are just at the beginning. So I think that's for the creators, like this is exciting time to be in the field.
Nice, especially as people around the world are starting to get outside of their house again, finally. I'm sure AR is going to be a huge part of it. Yeah, for sure. I know you said that you and your team have specialized primarily on AR and VR. Tell us about some of the projects that you all have made previously before this actual jam.
Yeah, sure. So we have done a couple of projects, of course, for big enterprise size clients. For example, here in Republic, we did a really nice project for Skoda, just a representation of how the electromobility works in augmented and virtual reality. Right now, currently, we are working on a pretty large scale museum project that combines virtual and augmented reality again. But I'm also very proud that we are working with some global NGOs, and we can support them through these technologies. For example, Human Rights Watch or One.
Nice. So cool to hear that you're sort of on the front lines of both tourism and sort of museums, as well as how AR and VR can make an impact on the social side of things. So it's exciting to see that you're doing so much more than just what you're working on this week. And that being said, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you and your team will be working on in this jam?
So it's still a bit of secret, I guess, but no, I will definitely share with you that we will try to use most of the features that are offered, and I think we will play a lot with a multiplayer feature, something that I can uncover, and we will also try to focus on experience-based ad. So that's another kind of hint I can give you at the moment.
Nice. So it sounds like multiplayer is probably the most exciting feature to you for the Lightship ARDK then, am I right?
Well, I need to also add that the segmentation is something that we are planning to explore more. But of course, like these things combined, I think for us as a creators, Lightship in that sense is a really good tool to get started with and try it out.
Nice. Now, you said earlier that this is really just sort of the beginning, not just of this jam, but sort of how AR can unlock the future of what interacting in the real world and virtual world looks like. Where would you like to see the future of AR go from here?
As I mentioned, I really believe that we are just a very starting point. What we see right now in the usage of AR is just this tip of the iceberg. We see only like 10%, not even. So I think it will become a standard part of our lives, and whether it will be some smart glasses in the near future that we can wear, whether it will be something even more when we are speaking in some connections to the neural networking, so on and so forth. So I really think that we are right in the beginning, and where I see, or where I want to see AR is being part of our standard lives and helping us with daily tasks. I don't want to look at the mobile anymore in the future, so.
Nice. Great. Well, obviously, you and your team have a lot of work and a lot of stuff coming up in this next week. But before you go, why don't you share with anybody who's watching from home, where can folks follow along with Yord, specifically with this project and anything else that you all have working on?
Sure. So we are pretty active on most of the social media, but I think the best starting point where you can start, or join watching Yord is definitely our web, yordstudio.com. And from then, feel free to follow us, as I said, on Instagram, Twitter, also on LinkedIn. So whatever social media you prefer.
Great. Well, Adam, thank you so much again for joining us, and we can't wait to see what you and Jord build this upcoming week. So we'll check back in about a week and a half from now and see what you all came up with. Good luck in the jam.
Well, thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Great. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you again, Adam. I loved to hear about the work that they were doing with the NGO. I feel like we're at such an exciting time where we're still figuring out what all of the applications for something like AR could be. And to see that it could have such a social impact is very exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And it sounds like Adam and the rest of the team at Jord is already sort of delving into a lot of different directions. He had mentioned, working on some apps and experiences around museums and tourism. And then when I asked him about the future there, and he mentioned wanting to not be tethered to the mobile device anymore, now we're talking about sort of like generations from where we are right now, where we're not even looking at the mobile screen. Obviously, we're doing that for this jam with Lightship, but talking about bringing in things like glasses and other peripherals to sort of untether yourself from looking at the screen. It's cool to get his perspective, and I'm super excited to see what they come up with, since it seems like AR and VR is their specialty.
I think the end game here would just be retina lenses of AR. So that's our whole experience of reality is just augmented forever.
Yeah, we'll just get our like cybernetic eyes installed.
I'm personally ready for my cyberpunk AU to begin, so as long as everyone's cool with that. So over the course of the jam, the support from Niantic for all of these teams has been so amazing. They are dedicated to set these teams up for success when they are using the Lightship program. Joining us in an earlier jam was a special guest, Amanda Witt, who is the product manager of Niantic's Lightship ARDK. She had a lot of insight on the support Niantic provides. Check this out.
Please join me in welcoming Amanda Witt, product manager of Niantic's Lightship ARDK. Hi, Amanda.
Hi. Hello. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Now, we've been talking on and on and on for the past 30 minutes or so now about the jam, about Lightship, but for those folks that might be joining us right now for the first time and may not be familiar with the Lightship ARDK, why don't you give us like a nice quick deep dive into what exactly the Lightship ARDK is?
I'm Amanda. I am the product manager on our Niantic AR platform and the Lightship ARDK. So for those that don't know the Lightship ARDK, over the last few years, Niantic has been building AR experiences in Pokemon Go and Ingress and Harry Potter Wizards Unite and Heavy Metal. And in the process of building out the AR platform for those games, we've been building out key technologies and wrapping this up into our internal toolkit, which is known as ARDK. And so ARDK is about building AR experiences that can realistically interact with the physical world and understand what is in front of the user and the surfaces, and then also enables social AR, so sharing AR in gameplay with multiple users. And so now ARDK is what we are bringing to the external developer community. Right now it's in beta. So we're super excited to be working with Playcrafting as early explorers of this ARDK and exploring it with us. And it is an SDK that integrates directly with Unity and allows you to build for iOS and Android. And we are ARDK later this year. So currently in beta and exploring with Playcrafting.
Amazing. And, super, super exciting to see you all, the folks behind Pokemon Go, sort of become these shepherds of the future of what could be possible in the world of AR. And that's what this Lightship Global Jam is really, really all about. What sort of like specific features are you personally hoping for that developers in this jam will really dive into and leverage within Lightship as they're actually building out their own games and experiences?
Yep. So definitely leveraging our social and multiplayer APIs that are part of ARDK. So these are APIs that let multiple users, up to 8 users, experience a game together or battle each other or battle AR content in a realistic way in the same place. So really being social and having a shared AR experience. Another set of features are around our computer vision or contextual awareness features. So our depth API, our meshing API, what we're calling our semantic segmentation API, which is the ability to recognize certain objects in the user's environment, like sky and ground, water, buildings, foliage. That ability to know what the realistic topography is in the space, what environmental elements are there. We can sort of bring that into gameplay and allow the AR experience to be super realistic and visually accurate. So leveraging kind of those key core advanced AR feature capabilities in ARDK, we think can really help the games and the game creators kind of find the fun with AR.
Yeah, and as you were talking through sort of the social side of things, I feel like there's no better time than now when the world is starting to finally open back up after a year and a half of all of us being very much distanced, to give people something fun and exciting and engaging that gives them a reason to go out there and explore the world and meet other people. It just feels like the timing couldn't be better. And I know that you mentioned that ARDK is currently in beta. What kinds of developers and backgrounds do you think would be sort of like the perfect fit right now? Who would be best suited to dive in with the Lightship ARDK right now as it is today?
Yeah, so ARDK is meant to be easy to use, and we don't want our developers to feel like they have to be experts in ARKit or AR Core. ARDK really makes it kind of easy to build for both of those platforms, and it integrates directly with Unity, right? So our game creators can focus on just finding the fun and using Unity and building directly to those platforms without needing to be an AR expert. So all that said, the SDK is it integrates directly with Unity. So some Unity experience is key here. But yeah, it was made for our internal and partner game developers. So really the Playcrafting community is a great fit. Anyone that really, has been tinkering or building games should be able to start up with ARDK quite quickly.
Do you have any like tips for them as they're like sort of seeing it for the first time and going ahead and building with it for the first time?
So yeah, some tips here. We have a lot of resources on our Niantic.dev site, right? So I really encourage folks to take a look there, take a look at the features, take a look at the support materials that we have. We have a lot of mini examples that you can download directly as projects for Unity. We have our documentation. We have a lot of sample code and tutorials that are part of our developer platform. So I highly encourage kind of checking all of that stuff out. I also encourage folks to make sure that their dev environment is set up correctly. So yeah, getting on like the latest Xcode and just making sure your Unity version is up to date. That will just help things get started up and help folks get onboarded. So take a look at the system requirements that we have. The last thing too is we, Niantic, are super invested in our early developers. We want to make sure everyone is having a great experience, and we are here to help, right? So we have a Slack space forum for our early developer community. It's small but mighty. There's a lot of supportive other community members that are there. The Niantic folks, including myself, are there, and we're talking to everybody every day on that community, answering questions, making sure any issues are handled, and we love learning from our developers too. So yeah, checking out the Early Explorer Slack space. We are here for you and here to help.
Nice. Now, I'm sure when developers nationwide and worldwide hear and heard that Niantic has the Lightship ARDK and the Lightship platform, I'm sure like a lot of folks first go to, I want to make the next Pokemon Go. What kinds of games and experiences are you personally hoping to see come out of this jam, and even for devs that may not be participating in it but are getting access to the beta?
Yeah, so I am super excited by the idea of a future where AR experiences can be hyper local and tied to real world locations. So things like bringing local stories or history stories to people in a community, or AR artwork, or things where relevant content is tied to that certain point of interest and helps you get out and explore your world. Things that help make the real world more fun, I think are super interesting. I also love the idea of more social interaction with AR. I think sometimes AR can be kind of isolating because it's just tied to you and your phone. So things where folks can play together and should be co-creating, or maybe working on like a combiner raid of battle where multiple people are interacting with each other and interacting with the AR content. I love those kinds of ideas, and they're definitely things that the ARDK is there to support.
So cool. I mean, it seems like the possibilities are endless. Tourism, sports, art, museums, of course, games. And it's so cool to kind of not know right now what that next thing might be. But of course, that's what we're here to find out. Any final thoughts that you want to sort of give to them before you go?
We are super excited to see what folks can create, right? And there's a lot of possibilities, I think, to drive experiences that let folks interact with their real world in a more interesting way with AR, or also drive more interesting social interaction with AR. And so really excited about seeing those ideas come to life. For the final thought, I will say, we are learning and we want to work really closely with the Playcrafting developers. And so again, we are here to support you and learn with you, and please come over to us on the Slack channel, and we're really excited to talk through all the ideas.
Amazing. And this is really just the beginning. So can't wait to see where things go from here. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully we can have you back. Obviously, we have tons more streams and jams. It's going to be a very, very busy summer ahead of us, but really appreciate your time and giving us a deep dive and a perspective right from Niantic itself. So thanks again for being here.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Some great information there for our jammers and any other developers who are looking to check out the Lightship ARDK. Thank you again, Amanda, for joining us, by the way. Now, before we introduce our next European team, we want to share with you Niantic's interview series called Early Explorers. In this series, they spotlight developers that Niantic is sponsoring and mentoring in their own path through AR. Now let's meet Wicked Saints, the first of many teams joining the Niantic Black Developers Initiative.
My name is Jessica Murray. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Wicked Saints Studios, based in Medford, Oregon. But my team is all over the world, literally. We make interactive story games where people can play the hero and then actually be the hero in real life. We are going to be building World Reborn on the Niantic platform. It's like Game of Thrones meets Riverdale with a little dash of Black Mirror. My path to game design is pretty atypical. Before I was a game designer, I was actually a peace builder. I trained young activists all over the world in social change communication. We wanted to figure out a way to scale that change. How do we reach more young people and activate them in their community to handle conflict but in a constructive way? When we had this revelation that young people wanted to practice what to do first before being sent out to do stuff, we started doing interactive story games using Twine, so text-based story games. Imagine that you fall into this deep pit and you're facing a dragon. The world will tell you that you have two choices. You either slay the dragon or you get eaten by the dragon. The problem with those two choices is that neither of them get you out of that deep, dark pit. But what we're trying to do is create tools so that you don't just survive these situations, but you can fly. We want to create a society of high-functioning dragon riders. So much excites me about being able to work with Niantic and this platform. What it's done is it's really kind of exploded our box. There's so much that we can tap into with AR and geolocation that we'd never had access to before. And stories are so powerful because people's behavior changes through experiences. With interactive story games, you're no longer having this kind of vicarious experience. You are the main character. I'm so excited for Niantic's Black Developer Initiative. It's something that's going to expand universes of stories and experiences that haven't been tapped into. Especially for us, we just needed that shot. We needed someone to believe in our idea. We've always been trying to mobilize young people to actually go out into the world and move and do good. Who's got people to move better than Niantic?
Welcome back. It's time to meet our next team. You'll have no trouble hearing them. Hailing from the United Kingdom, it's Be Loudest.
I'm Stuart Spencer and I am the founder of Be Loudest and also the lead programmer and team leader behind all the projects that we do. Be Loudest is an AR and VR production agency based in the UK. We provide high quality development and creative services for enterprise applications and brand experiences. We have a few indie titles, Exo Exit, Bad Day to Fly, Chess World AR and Escape Crates, but our main focus is in the enterprise sector. We've worked with brands and businesses such as Salesforce, DHL, UEFA, Emirates, Samsung, Scottish Power, Dogs Trust, to name a few.
Hi, I'm Gareth Hester. I'm the lead sound designer for Be Loudest.
I'm Oliver Plunkett. I'm a designer and artist for Be Loudest.
Three words that best describe the team are pioneering, courageous, and stealthy.
I went with cooperative, supportive, and motivating. So it's just been a nice experience working with Be Loudest.
Augmented reality is a real gateway to a new audience of people, making games more immersive and bringing games to the outdoors again.
Seeing new ways we can interact with the world, ways we didn't even think possible or knew was possible before, and then also the possibility of creating accessibility.
My favourite apps are Pokémon Go and Chess World.
Those Google animals that you could place on your living room, in your lounge, just in your house. We have these family WhatsApp groups and everyone was posting the pics of themselves with these animals, and it was just quite a memorable experience.
When under pressure, I always find it's best to focus on small wins because you kind of need that positive traction to carry you through on the more challenging tasks.
Make a list and start with the easiest items first. That way you have something to deliver the rest of the team that they can either start working on themselves or give you feedback on.
I like to set daily lists of work and allow sort of budgets of time to each task so I don't get overwhelmed.
Favourite video game of all time? I went with Half-Life 2.
Probably Warhammer, followed closely second by Street Fighter.
This is a really hard one, but I've gone for GTA 5 just purely as you could always have a good time on the game. It's got great entertainment value.
Use your time wisely and just always keep trying to learn new things.
Nobody will hand you opportunities, so don't be scared to reach out and promote yourself.
My most important piece of advice would be to not sacrifice your time on working on too ambitious of projects. Keep your projects short, sweet and concise, because the latest is always going to be better than the last.
I am joined now by Stuart Spencer from Be Loudest. Thank you so much for being here today and letting me pick your brain. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. A little hot. It's very hot here in the UK at the moment. We've got a bit of a heat wave, so it's a bit sweaty in the studio, but otherwise it's good.
Hopefully there's no detriment to the workflow. You guys are able to get everything done on time. So
we're still cracking on. Yeah, we're not going to slow us down, so we're all good.
It's a good attitude. So I would love it if you could please tell me about your team, who's on your team, what are your responsibilities, everybody's roles. Just give me the introduction.
Okay, so our team is Be Loudest. We are an AR and VR production studio based in the UK. We tend to work in enterprise sectors, creating like brand experiences or training applications, whether it be in augmented reality, 360 video, VR, traditional apps and games and websites, and then also digital content creation. We've worked with clients such as Samsung, DHL, Emirates, Delta Airlines, Scottish Power, Dogs Trust, to just name a few. In our spare time, we like to make our own games and projects, none of which have been released as of yet, because we're generally quite busy just working on other stuff for our clients. But yeah, we do a whole mix of stuff. So it's all real interest to us, anything that's in the XR space. On the team, I've got 2 guys with me, so I can tell you some more about them if you'd like to know.
I would love to hear about them, please. Yes.
So we have Oliver Plunkett. He's the artist. He's been working with me for close to 8 years on and off of projects now. So he'll be managing all the UI, all the UX stuff, 3D content. Anything you see there will be from him. Myself, I do all the programming as well as the team leading. And then we'll have Gareth Hester, who's our sound designer. He's also a music producer under the name Covert Garden. So he's got plenty of experience creating audio, and again has been working with me on and off the projects for the last 8 years.
And how did you all end up forming this team? What made you say, you know what, we seem to work really well together, let's make this official and put a name on it?
Well, it all started when I put together a team for a game we was making called Exo Exit, which never made it to market at the time because we was underfunded. But nonetheless, it was a really positive experience because it brought us together and sort of became a portfolio piece that paved the way for us to do other projects later on. So that's where the origins of the team is from, essentially, is that game, which never made it to market, but worked out in the end.
And how did you come up with the name Be Loudest?
It was more of it was sort of like a slogan or a phrase in my head, was like, be loudest. I was quite into music at the time when back in my 20s, and it sort of resonated with me as a sort of mantra, and that's where it comes from.
It certainly stands out. So I heard earlier you were mentioning a few of the projects that your team has worked on in the past. I heard several pretty impressive names of some companies. What about AR excites you as a creator, and what has pushed you forward in getting to create all of these projects for these companies?
So AR from the beginning has been very exciting, just being able to track surfaces with a camera. That's where it started. But as time progressed, what's really exciting me now is AR glasses, and the thought of them becoming a more of a mass market item, and being able to interact with 3D content within ways that we've never done before, I suppose, essentially, and how that could potentially affect our production as a society in the future, being able to have mobility whilst also access to applications or entertainment on the go. So for me, it's definitely sort of what comes in the future is going to be the most exciting part of AR. We're still not quite there yet, but close.
You are not the first developer to talk to me about the AR glasses, so clearly this is something that's exciting for a lot of devs in this scene. So during this jam, you're going to get to work with Lightship. What is appealing to you about getting to use Lightship to elevate your game?
What's appealing to me most from all the features that I've seen currently listed is segmentation, being able to use occlusion on background objects far away in the distance. For me, that's a really exciting thing, and whoever's the team that has solved that have done a really good job in being able to actually, have that as a feature, because that's something I think a lot of developers have been wanting for a long time. Beyond that, the meshing features look like fun. And then also you've got the multiplayer framework, which I should imagine would be really helpful if you've got the time to develop a really in-depth multiplayer game. I think we're probably going to approach this project from just focus on the first two features, but yeah, overall, it looks like a really strong DK.
That's awesome. So can you let us know if there's anywhere where people watching at home can follow you and your team and see your progress on your projects?
Sure. So beloudest.com is our website, so you can get in touch with us there and check out some of the various bits that we have featured on the site. If you'd like to follow us on social media, just find us on Facebook, Be Loudest again, or Instagram and Twitter. And then you can look me up on LinkedIn as well, and we can connect there.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Stuart. It's been so much fun getting to pick your brain. And good luck to you and your team during this jam. And good luck with the heat over there in the UK.
Thank you. We're going to need it. Cheers.
Thank you again, Stuart. I'd love to point out that one of the adjectives he chose for his team was stealthy.
Yeah. I
Which
love
I
it.
think
Under
is
the
a
radar.
it's a very under the radar, especially for a team called Be Loudest, but they're stealthy, I love that.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
One of the team members ended up mentioning something about accessibility, which I thought was really cool because it's such an important conversation in the gaming community. And for something as young as AR is right now, it's very encouraging to see that these teams are already considering how they can apply accessibility to these AR games and experiences. So I just thought that was really fun that they mentioned that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's the first time that accessibility has really come up throughout this whole global jam process. And I'm sure we haven't even scratched the surface on how AR can make the world more accessible and relatable and understandable for folks that might have disabilities and may not be able to access it in typical ways. So definitely excited to see if they integrate that into this project or sort of bring it into some of the future games and experiences that they work on.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I think it's time for us to go ahead and meet our next team. Next up, representing Germany, is Invisible Toys. Joining us live from Invisible Toys is Narayer. Hey, Narayer. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Hi, Dan.
Welcome. Hi. How's it going over there today?
Awesome. Everything is good. Thanks.
Good. Love to hear it. So tell us some more about Invisible Toys. Who's on your team and what role does each person play?
Actually, we have 3 Unity developers in the team who will be responsible for the technical implementation of the project. One project manager generating ideas, I would say, and outlining guidelines for the team to follow certain aspects to pay attention to, and so on. And me, like an observer, just checking overall situation, like a drone hovering over the construction area, checking that everything is going well, something like that.
Nice. Need a supervisor in there.
Yeah.
Cool. And how did you all meet? How did the team form originally?
The team will cope perfectly. I'm just observer.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How did you all meet? How did you get started working together?
Actually, we are a part of the big company that is specialized in different web and mobile development. And about 5 years ago, AR/VR department was created. So we just combined our resources, efforts and then started actually to work in this direction. And during this time, we created several interesting projects in VR and AR. So we are excited to participate in Lightship Global Jam, especially in AR, because you know, so far a lot of our projects, actually the clients requested predominantly virtual reality projects that we implemented, and it's always great to work on augmented reality, because we love this direction as well.
Nice. And tell us some more about some of the projects that you all have worked on before. I know you mentioned VR specifically. Like, pick one or two and tell us about sort of what they were all about.
In VR, we actually specialized in educational and trainings in VR in different industries. Like, you know, you just put a helmet on and get some instructions, doing certain things to just training personnel. So it's pretty popular direction, and we have implemented certain projects in this industry. As for AR, as for AR, we've done several concepts in gaming, mostly in gaming, but also looking into more practical sides of AR. So not only for kids, you know, not for fun, but something more interesting as well.
Nice. And what is it about AR specifically that excites you and your team as creators? Like, obviously AR and VR are two totally different things. What is it about AR that's so exciting for you?
You know, the feeling that actually AR is appealing to people's feelings, and the difference between VR, I would say, in VR, you just, you know, you understand, you realize that everything is not real, that it doesn't exist in reality. But in AR, you get that fantastic feeling that like it's a magic. You feel like a magician. Something pops up, and you see the scenery, the scene behind it. You see that it is real, as if it is real. It's completely different from virtual reality. That's why we like augmented reality. So in this content.
Nice. I love the way you explain that too. There is something sort of magical about looking through your phone and seeing the world around you shift in some specific way. It's not as isolating as putting on a headphones and a headset and like sort of disappearing into a insular virtual world like VR has.
Show an augmented reality object, an application, something in augmented reality to a kid, and you will see his or her reaction, and you will see how it is surprised, how it's, you know, excited about this. That's the magic.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And so tell us what you and your team are going to be building this week. Obviously, the jam didn't get started yet, but do you know sort of like just generally what direction you're going to go with your project?
Yeah, the direction, we have chosen the direction, and now working in choosing the best options for that. I would say, first of all, we started studying the SDK, the best sides of it, and we would point out occlusion, segmentation, and multiplayer. Multiplayer is great if it's work as it should work. So we need to check that, of course, because we have implemented several projects in AR using multiplayer, several gaming concepts. It's very attractive. That's why we like it, multiplayer. So we would like to look into the direction of a sort of quest, maybe. If everything goes well, we will try to implement multiplayer as well. But for sure, we will try to use occlusion features and semantic segmentations.
Very, very cool. I can't wait to see what you and your team come up with.
Yeah, we're also
where would
excited to
you?
start.
Nice, nice. Now here's a big question for you. Where would you like to see AR itself go in the future? Let's say it's 25, 50 years from now. Where would you like to see AR at that point?
Yeah, yeah, it's unpredictable, you know. However,
yeah.
For me personally, and from our team's point of view, we would like to work more and test to implement something with AR glasses. So far, we've faced certain problems with AR glasses because the ideas and the requests that we got from our clients were great, but current situation with the AR glasses, their performance, certain restrictions, etc., they don't allow us to implement what we want to implement. So I hope in several years, maybe sooner, we will reach to reach the point when the technical side of AR glasses and all that devices, helmet or whatever, will allow us to implement all stuff that we are eager to implement, but can't do that because of technical restrictions, unfortunately. So
right, it's funny. We've asked that question of every team too, and that has been the most popular answer. It sounds like a lot of folks are really eager to see where AR glasses can go from here.
Yeah, so far there are too many restrictions. We are always looking in this direction, but too many restrictions so far.
Great. And any advice for, folks that may not be developers just yet, but they're just getting started? We have a lot of folks that tune in and join us who are sort of aspiring game and app developers. What kind of advice would you give them for getting started?
I don't even know if they need any advice to start AR or VR, because AR VR itself is very attractive. And it doesn't need any additional advice or something like that. It's appealing to feelings, and if you like, do something that makes people get surprised, excited, or makes people smile. Because if you see people trying an AR application, you will definitely see a smile on his face or her face, because it's really attractive, appealing to their feelings. So if you like to make people happier or make their mood higher, better, and so on, if you like that, that's definitely your way. You should try definitely AR VR development.
That's great advice. That's great advice. So obviously you and your team have a big week ahead of you. Before you go, where can folks follow along with Invisible Toys, with this project and any other work that you're doing? Social media, like shout out any handles and sites that folks can follow along.
Usually, I would say in social media, and on our website and spread in social medias, news, anything that we are working on or interesting directions that we would like to pay attention to our successes, and etc. So predominantly in social media, yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for joining us. I can't wait to see what you and the team from Invisible Toys comes up with, and obviously we'll check in a week and a half or so to see what you all built. So good luck and happy jamming.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm also looking forward to start development.
Cool. Now the fun part starts.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Awesome. Well, once again, that question was posed about the future of AR and what folks are looking for. And once again, AR glasses came up. So Definitely like a hot button issue, it sounds like, when it comes to game and app developers.
They said, listen, you guys are getting these glasses whether you want them or not, so just get ready. I love the comparison and the contrasting between VR and AR that you two spoke about. And I think it's a really interesting concept. With VR, you're sort of diving into the deep end and you're inserting yourself into this immersive world. But with AR, it's almost like you're pulling things out of the ether and adding this like mystical sheen to your reality, which can be so whimsical. Like it's something that like just gets me giddy talking about it. I'm like, okay, it's one thing to sort of put some headphones on and I'm in VR, but I'm standing right here and I have my phone and I'm seeing things through it that I wouldn't be able to without this technology. And it's so fascinating. Like,
Yeah,
so
for
exciting.
sure. And I think that like he spoke really, really eloquently and really well about sort of that magical feeling that you have when you first try AR. And for a lot of people around the world, Pokemon Go was the first AR experience, game, encounter that they had. And so he spoke really powerfully, I think, to sort of like his own team's like developer motivation around putting smiles on faces and getting sort of that reaction from kids when they check it out for the first time. And I think we all sort of had that the first time we played Pokemon Go and first time we actually experienced AR. So it's cool to sort of get a peek behind the curtain and hear from him, you know, that's really a motivating factor in what they're looking to achieve in augmented reality.
And I think we all remember that summer where Pokemon Go really took off was such a beautiful time because there were groups of strangers running through the streets like, oh, there's one over there, like trying to work together. And I feel like we sort of attained world peace a little bit at that time. So, you know, I'm not saying that AR can solve all of our problems, but it might solve all of our problems. So I think it's finally time to meet our fifth team of developers rounding out our EU portion of this jam. Here we have Delta Reality.
Hi, I'm Darren. I'm the CEO of the company Delta Reality. Delta Reality is an XR studio which specializes in creating virtual, augmented and mixed reality experiences. Some of the projects that we have done in the past are historical tour using augmented reality through the city, virtual reality trainings, mixed reality games and experiences. We generally love to blur the line between digital and physical world, and I really think that Niantic Lightship will help us achieve that.
Hi, I'm Vedran Škarica, I'm the CTO of Delta Reality.
My name is Petar Agev, I'm a 3D artist and I've been working for 3 years in that position.
The three terms that best describe our team is creative, technologically strong and a little bit crazy.
Three words that would best describe my team are crazy, passionate, lunatics.
Our team is flexible, fast and creative.
What excites me most about augmented reality is its potential to truly transform the world.
It's uncharted territories and it's still a developing field.
The thing that most excites me about the augmented reality is this digital layer that will be on top of the physical world, where you will walk around the city and you can get the historical tour, you can have a fantasy experience, you can have a multiplayer game with your friends. I think that really the scope of what can be done with augmented reality, and especially with location-based augmented reality, is endless.
Well, I play double bass and read.
In the real world, my hobby would be being a dad.
I have a kid 5 weeks old and I run a company, so I don't have no hobbies anymore.
Tips to thrive under pressure: always take time for yourself.
So the best tip I can think of for thriving under pressure is just to give all you can. I think that is the only thing you can do when you are under some pressure.
My favorite video game of all time would definitely be Minecraft.
Morrowind.
Monkey Island, especially Monkey Island 2. I generally love LucasArts adventures because of the humor and their sense of adventure that they really have.
One piece of advice I will give to new creators is don't concern yourself with what is impossible. Think about how you can overcome it.
Be open.
One piece of advice I would give to new creators is to really learn as much as you can about augmented reality, mixed reality, and throw it all out and really start from the scratch. You need to have technological knowledge about what can be done, but really we are just at the beginning of this new augmented reality era. So everything that you try to do will be probably new.
Hi there, I am joined today by Darian Skarita from Delta Reality, and I would love to hear all about your team. So if you could please give the introductions, who's on your team, what are your roles and responsibilities, tell us all about them, please.
First, hi. Thank you for having me here. My name is Darian. I'm, as you said, from the XR studio Delta Reality. So we are generally an agency for augmented and virtual reality. So when we got the call from Niantic, everybody wanted to get into this project. Everybody wanted to work at least a little on this project. So the core team that will be on this project will be Vedran, our CTO. He will be the lead developer, Petar, who is our lead artist, and me, who will serve as a producer on this project, and everybody else in the company who wants to at least be a part of this experience.
So you mentioned that you're all really looking forward to being on this project. What is making you so excited to build something in AR?
Well, it's not so much as building in AR, because we are already building in AR for the last 10 years, but especially working with Niantic and with their Lighthouse technology, because we see that as a last missing piece of augmented reality. We see that as a holy grail of augmented reality, so that's why we are really happy to be a part of this.
So you've clearly been in this game for a long time. Where would you like to see AR go in the future?
Well, we started the company because of the mixed reality glasses, augmented reality glasses. So that's definitely the direction that we would really like to see augmented reality go, and that it will definitely go in that way.
So you've said that you've built a lot of things before with augmented reality. What are some other projects that you and your team are known for?
Well, we are not known for anything, unfortunately, because we haven't built any game. Actually, we have built a couple of games, but they were really low-level games. Most of the stuff that we've done created virtual or augmented reality experiences, education tours, historical tours, stuff like that. It was mostly location-based stuff that we've done.
Okay, so I heard you say Lightship is like the holy grail for AR. So what about Lightship was so appealing to you for this project and to elevate your game?
So I don't know if I should talk in the current state that Lightship is. We are more excited in the direction that it will go. But for the current state, the multiplayer aspect is something really cool that we will build stuff on. The sky segmentation. I envision the future where we will be wearing augmented reality glasses, and our sky will be filled with giants, dragons, fantasy stuff. And I really, really am happy for that future. So that is what we can even currently do on Lightship. And the direction that they are going to go is, I think, even bigger, because everybody wants to have an augmented reality cloud, and I think that Lightship is definitely going into that direction.
So you have created all of these things that you and your team are so proud of. What is it about augmented reality? You mentioned this a little bit earlier about what excites you about AR as a creator, but what is it about augmented reality that drew you to this?
Well, this complete merging of physical reality and digital reality. The way that on our physical world we will have digital layers that we can choose from. So you'll be walking around the city and you can choose a digital layer with some fantasy game that you can play with your friends, or digital rail with layer with historical tours of the city where you can have portals all around you, and you can walk through a portal and see how the city looked like in the past. As I said, multiplayer aspect, where you can play something, not only Pokemon Go, which really opened the door for augmented reality for all developers, and we are extremely grateful for Niantic for that. But this really multiplayer experience that Pokemon Go showed can be done using augmented reality.
So how did your team meet? How did you all end up working together?
So me and my brother started a company 10 years ago. We were doing new technologies, using new technologies in marketing purposes. And once we got our hand on augmented virtual reality, we said, okay, this is it. This is the thing that we want to do for the next couple of decades of our life. And Petar is, as I said, he's our lead artist on this. And it was just logical for us to be core team for this global jam.
Well, it sounds like you have a ton of experience under your belt. You're very passionate about this, clearly. I'm super excited
Thank
to see
you.
what you all work on for this. Where can folks watching follow you and the projects that your team is working on?
We have finally started to use our Instagram account because we are mostly engineers who love to do some cool stuff and we don't talk about it. And we have finally started to fill our Instagram profile, so you can follow us on Instagram or on Facebook, Delta Reality.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Darian. Good luck to you on this jam and your team. And
Thank you.
I am excited to see what comes out of this.
Thanks.
They are certainly a team to watch, full of veterans in the AR game. I genuinely cannot wait to see how they take their years of expertise to spin this in the Lightship software.
Yeah, for sure. And it sounds like he and his team are so excited about the future here, and not just AR broadly, but you heard him mention that this is really the beginning for Lightship itself too. So it's cool to see this sort of brand new technology in the hands of devs, and it sounds like he and his team are along for the journey, not just for this jam, but for, you know, we're at whatever Lightship 2.0, you know, what features are added in the future, and sort of building with that mindset, I think, makes a big difference for, you know, how they're probably going to be approaching this particular project.
And then who knows, maybe in the future, Niantic could just coin the holy grail of AR for Lightship.
Yes.
We don't know. That was a great soundbite.
Yeah, back of the box quote for sure.
So
Cool.
that has been the introductions for all of the teams for this upcoming week. Would you like to talk a little bit about the upcoming dates, Dan?
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look. All right, so obviously we are smack dab in the middle of our Lightship Global Jam. The developers that you met today and that you checked out today will start building in a few days, so on July 25th through the 31st. Once they wrap up, we are going to be right back here on the Playcrafting Twitch channel on Thursday, August 5th at the same time to get a peek at what all of these awesome creators actually built over the course of that week. From there, we will be heading over to Japan at the end of August, from August 29th to September 4th. We'll meet the developers that will be joining us for that leg of our jam, and then also follow up with a stream checking out the projects that they built out. So for folks in Japan, you can go ahead and visit lightshipglobaljam.com for more information and to sign up and apply to be a part of that leg of our jam. We'd love to have you and love to check you out. Head on over to niantic.dev if you're a developer in the US, Europe, or otherwise that has not yet participated in this jam. That is where you can find all the information about the Lightship ARDK. You can get registered for the beta, get more information on there. The Lightship Global Jam is just part of the grand sort of rollout of the Lightship ARDK. So there are many ways to get involved, and we encourage you to head on over to niantic.dev so you can join and be a part of sort of the future of AR as heralded by Niantic. So lots of stuff still to come this summer, Holly, and I can't believe we're sort of approaching the halfway point already.
I know. Wasn't it just when we were doing the opening stream for the North American part of the jam, and now here we are smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, For
It's already
sure.
been
And it sounds like
it's already Oh no, sorry, go
yeah, I
ahead.
was just yeah, I was just gonna say, and it sounds like we have some like even more non-gaming apps coming out of this one too. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to see how developers from Europe will be approaching sort of the design and build out of their projects and applying it to games and non-gaming apps.
We already saw it from some of the teams that we interviewed and saw introductions for today. They're already looking into ways that they can apply AR in the educational space for things like tours and museums, which could be such a fun thing for cities to just, oh, I'm in Paris, let me take an AR tour and see how things used to be and have all of these amazing features guiding me through. So this is going to be a lot of fun. It's already been such an eventful jam so far, even with just the North American portion. I'm so looking forward to seeing what the European devs come up with. And there's something really special about a company like Niantic with this amazing software like Lightship, and they're so willing and encouraged to share it with the community
Yeah.
to ensure that the future of AR is as bright as I think we all know it will be. They're just ready to teach these teams how to do it. They're supporting them every step of the way, and opportunities like this are the small stepping stones that lead to our eventual cyberpunk glasses, maybe?
Hopefully we'll get in there. It sounds like that's what a lot of devs want. So we'll see. But I think this is a good sort of first step behind that screen, and then we can see how we can apply out to our cybernetic eyes and all kinds of
Baby
augmentations.
steps. Baby steps, you know, AR experiences today, cybernetic lenses tomorrow. It is what it is. So I think that's going to do it for our stream today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to the teams who took times out of their days to talk to us, let us pick your brain, and give your introductions. We are so looking forward to seeing what you all come up with. And thank you to Niantic and to Playcrafting for putting this all together. Thank you, Dan, for hosting with me once again. It's always a joy. Do you have any closing remarks?
No, I'm just super excited, as is the rest of the team, to see what these devs all come up with. And like I said earlier, if you are a developer who has not yet participated in this jam, or you're just broadly interested in getting your hands on the Lightship ARDK, make sure you head on over to niantic.dev because this is just one of many things going on in the world of the Lightship ARDK, and it's a come one, come all. This is your opportunity to dive in and start building out the future of what augmented reality could be.
And if you are interested in following the progress of any of these teams, just remember that their social media handles were shown and mentioned earlier on. Make sure you're following Niantic as well as Playcrafting on Twitter. And we will see you at the closing stream at the end of this very crazy week. So I can't wait. That's like the best part, is seeing the final products, or as final as they can be after a week of being nocturnal and funky. So it's going to be great. And thank you so much again for watching. I'm your host, Holly Peppermint, and we will see you at the closing stream of the Niantic Lightship Global Jam European portion.
Thanks, everyone.